Afternoon, Tim.
Afternoon, Darren.
How are you today?
Fine as the weather, thanks.
What's our rep of the day?
Rep of the day is, are your ears painted on?
What'd you say?
Good point.
Yeah. So what are you wanting to talk about here, Tim?
Well, it's just that classic thing about listening more than talking, and it's a common error that we see. I mean, you've done a lot of work supervising physiotherapists to the specialist level, and we talk about that being a common mistake, don't we?
Yeah. Yeah, so I think the patient, they're going to tell you what's wrong with them if you let them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And have you got any rules for this? Or
Yeah, there's one rule of thumb that we've got one mouth and two ears. So basically you should spend twice as much time listening in a consult as you are talking. So you perhaps check yourself with that. But if you're talking all the time, odds are you aren't being as effective as you could be.
I like that, Tim. That's gold. I think you could write a memoir.
That may be the title of it.
That could be the title of it.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to someone in the clinic, how do you convey that you are listening to them?
Well, obviously there's body language. I'm interested in what you've got to say at the moment, and hopefully that shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, the errors are when you don't listen or you just follow a script. So you might ask a question and you're busy writing down the answer and you haven't absorbed what they've said, and you move on to the next question without processing or understanding that.
Yeah, you really got to listen to what they say, obviously, but then process that information and think about how that links to the other things they've said or the other bits of information you have.
Yeah.
Other strategies?
But we talk about doing that recap or the reflection at the end of the consult, and why do you do that?
Yeah, just, that's an active listening strategy in a way, isn't it? To let the person know that you have been listening, that you understand what they're saying, so you're reflecting that back as an example of that. Yeah,
and if you show it makes sense to you and to them, and maybe significant other family members involved, then clearly you've heard the story right, and then you have a good chance of implementing assessment or treatment to help them with that.
And it sounds very simple, but how many people come into us and say at the end, you're the first person that's listened to me, like a year on into an injury?
Yeah, so the challenge of the day out there is test yourself on this. What proportion do you spend talking versus listening during a consult?
Yeah, great.
Very good.
Thanks.
Cheers.